Adult males in the United States are diagnosed with cancer every year. Sometimes radiation treatments are the only option a patient has. But how does that affect a young man's plan to create a family? Well, this next story may provide some answers.
Lindsay Beck is the founder and executive director of Fertile Hope, a nonprofit organization that helps cancer patients preserve their fertility.
I started Fertile Hope about 6 years ago based on my own personal experience with cancer. I needed to have chemotherapy, which put me at risk for permanent infertility. However, my doctor was not forthcoming with that information. And I later found that most oncologists weren't forthcoming with that information, didn't tell patients that they were at risk for infertility. But the good news is there are a ton of ways patients can preserve their fertility. Fertile Hope recently launched the Live On Kit in partnership with Cryogenic Laboratories and the Lance Armstrong Foundation. And the way the kit works from the patient perspective is a patient could be diagnosed with cancer today, and they would be told, you may be at risk for infertility from your treatments. The patient could say, I'm interested in banking my sperm. They'd be told all the different options to bank, whether there's an on-site location or the kit could be an option. Using the kit model, they would be given the kit. They could literally bank their sperm right then at the center. They could go home, bank their sperm that night. The kit is very user-friendly. That's one of the things we like most about it, is it's very simple, very straightforward. Inside the kit comes very clear step-by-step instructions on what to do, and it's already pre-addressed. And the sperm bank, upon receiving it, would analyze, process the specimen, and freeze it for future use. So that patient would, in essence, be able to preserve their fertility without having to delay their cancer treatments. A lot of patients have to start treatment right away, but that treatment may render them sterile. So this really allows them to bank their fertility, bank their sperm, fast, easy, and move on with their cancer treatments.
But what makes this process fast and easy is the combined support of the U.S. Postal Service and a company called Prompt Mailers.
Prompt Mailers is a full-service direct mail company. We provide services throughout the industry, both on the direct mail side and fulfillment services. Fertile Hope was a small client of ours who we took a personal interest in. What we found was this little startup nonprofit company that was developed by Lindsay. Most times you hear about cancer and you only hear about the bad side of it. What Fertile Hope does is they come across as a positive thing for cancer-surviving patients. And I think that's what drew us close to this organization.
Well, Fertile Hope's been a client of Prompt's for 5 years. And on a day-to-day basis, we work with them, sending out material to oncologists, healthcare professionals, cancer patients all over the country. And we send them literature about what Fertile Hope does and how they can help young cancer patients preserve their fertility. Fertile Hope is a great example of how a nonprofit, particularly a smaller nonprofit, will utilize the rate that the post office has provided them with, a nonprofit rate. They're taking that and they're mailing out tens of thousands of pieces to build their support bank and their database and their names.
We'll sit down with their creative team and their production people and come up with a package that we feel is the most economical way of sending it out through the post office.
I think the Postal Service gives nonprofit organizations the opportunity to save money and taking advantage of all our services.
We speak to the post office on a day-to-day basis. We have a wonderful business service network that is there to help us and is there to help our clients in their success. Oftentimes, our clients have wonderful ideas that really it can't be mailed, but the post office helps us in taking their idea and making it happen, which is so important because with these wonderful ideas, we need a partnership like the post office to actually bring them to life.
We strongly believe in supporting the post office. We strongly believe in working side by side with them. We encourage our clients to participate whenever possible with the good products and services that the post office offers.
And the Postal Service and Prompt Mailers are proud to deliver the Live On kits, which have helped countless people realize their dream of starting a family.
There are many hundreds of thousands of men have banked their sperm around the country. A lot of cancer patients will bank their sperm prior to starting chemotherapy or radiation or other sterilizing treatments and have it frozen for several years and then go back to use it and successfully achieve pregnancy and go on to have children. I think the most famous story of someone doing this is Lance Armstrong. You know, he is the cycling champion, but he also banked his sperm prior to treatment and now has 3 children and really owes that to the fact that his doctors had the foresight to tell him he might be at risk, and they really encouraged him to go visit a sperm bank. And of course, Lance used to ride for the U.S. Postal Service.
Cancer patients are entrusting the post office with parenthood and fatherhood dreams. They're actually, the post office is providing a parenthood option to someone who may not be able to get to a sperm bank, who may not have the means to drive or the means to leave a house if they're undergoing cancer treatment or about to undergo cancer treatment. Fertile Hope is actually trusting the post office, and cancer patients themselves are trusting the post office to preserve their parenthood dreams, which I think is just incredible. Because basically, if you can trust the post office to preserve your fertility, you can trust them with anything, I think.